Awesome.
So we can see what our viewers and our comments are. There we go. And now we can actually... Let's do this. What's going on, you guys? We are streaming
Live.
Shoot.
We're just getting all the kinks out.
Working on some stuff. We're going to be cutting up some video for Jimmy.
Yep.
And there we go. Cool.
Yep. And just talking some things. So what is this for, Sammy?
This is, I'm not sure what we're cutting it up for, but we did a live stream a while back. We did like a live concert for everybody. We streamed it to YouTube and we streamed it to Facebook and not Instagram. But now I did actually find out how to stream to Instagram.
Now that is an interesting concept that we can maybe show live here a little bit later.
Yeah.
But yeah, March 26th it was. It looks like on your screen.
Was it? Oh yeah.
March 26th.
It's right in front of me. Duh.
What a great concert too, and everything went so well. And Jimmy and Dave and Parker and the guys got everything set up great, and it was one of those things where a lot of the other big names, big name country people were probably pretty salty after they saw that stream.
Yeah, man, it was good. I mean, there's been a couple other people now that have come out and they've done a really good job, and but I think just having like our audio was spot on, our video was spot on, and thanks to you for helping us.
Yeah.
And everything was really good. I was really really impressed with how well it went. So.
Absolutely. And we just got done filming, 3 or 4 pieces of really good content for your followers on YouTube as well.
Yes.
Andy Cinegear sent you some good stuff. Tiffin sent you some good stuff as well. Reviewed those, and your new bag is awesome with all the gear and stuff that you use. So you guys, if you guys are wondering, excited to see what's exactly in Sammy's video bag, his gear bag, you're going to be able to see that pretty soon as well. Things have been interesting for quarantine. How's the quarantine affected you, really?
I mean, obviously I canceled all of our shows, so that kind of sucks. But other than that, I've just been getting a lot of work done, doing a lot of stuff, a lot of creating for the people that want it still. Obviously keeping our 6 foot apart rule.
We're not doing a good job of that, but it is what it is.
Oh, well.
It is what it is.
But other than that, I mean, it's been good. It's good. Like I said, just doing a lot of like cleaning up the hard drives, making sure they're organized, which has been something I wanted to do for a while. Reorganizing my office, which was cool. We're here, like I said, making content and doing all the things that I normally would say I don't have time for. Now I'm doing them now.
Right.
So, which has been nice.
Right.
Let's see where we're at here.
And you're just cutting up a couple songs. Is there any songs in particular that Jimmy wanted?
Yeah, we're doing Best Shot and then This Is Us.
This Is Us. If you guys haven't heard that yet, This Is Us. I think it's already at like well over 5 million views.
Yeah, it's like 5.1 million I think we looked at for the YouTube video or their music video. So check that out if you haven't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where this song even begins and ends and starts.
Let's check it out.
Okay, so that's definitely Best Shot.
You knew it was towards the
end, but
towards the end.
He hits the piano. There we go. Remember, he hits the piano first.
He does. Yep. That's the interlude and right into the song.
So,
some updates if you guys didn't know too. We're this summer. One of the festivals we're gonna shoot is Country Fest. It got moved to August.
That it did.
Jimmy won't be there this year, will he? I don't think he will.
Nope. I think Matt Stell will be.
Matt Stell will be. And actually, Mitchell Tenpenny will be there as well. One of my favorites. One of the guys I haven't got to meet yet. I really want to meet him.
Yeah, he's good too.
And then, but Rockfest, we are going to shoot that as well. And I think is going to be right on time in late July. So we're excited for that too. But I'm going to give you guys some value while Sammy's editing here. want to give you guys some value about video and video distribution for you freelance videographers. If you guys are not using and utilizing TikTok right now, you guys are really missing out, because TikTok is one of those, and it's not all because you don't have to be a dancer, dancing girl, anything like that. There's so many other ways to bring value on TikTok, and you guys can bring your content there as well. One of the things I was talking to Sammy about, trying to get him to do a little bit more to help him get started on TikTok, is to do some of these little mini tutorials, and sometimes just showing the basics of what goes on. With, for example, with his camera, he could hold his hand up and show you a few things in his settings with the camera, focus peaking, Absolutely. And all the little things that a lot of basic videographers may not know about, or if you're more advanced, just a good reminder. But there are so many things that you can do on TikTok. Getting views is so much easier. If you guys are on YouTube already, you guys know how hard it is to get views. Yes. Sammy just crossed his 1,000 subs, and that's impressive in itself. But it was, like we talked about, it was a pretty hard feat, and he needed a couple videos to go in that 10,000 to 25,000 view range for him to even have a chance at that.
Absolutely, and finding like quality content too. So, and getting people like interested in what you're talking about. So, and right now, I don't even know where. Actually, I'm gonna stop talking. I forgot where we were going with this. I'll stick to video editing.
Yeah, he's doing a dang good job. But yeah, with that, being able to use TikTok. The other thing is Instagram TV, IGTV is starting to help a little bit more for the videography, especially for the tutorial side, even for Sammy. When Sammy does a tutorial, now you're able to, on IGTV, go from vertical. You can now go horizontal and check out the videos for an extended period of time, which was the one crutch that we kind of found that Instagram TV had.
Yeah, sorry guys, interrupt. That's gonna find it.
Well done, Jimmy.
Boom, wind it right there. So now, click this.
Boom, that's deleted. So, what are some things that you've learned so far, Sammy, being on the road? What do you like about the road life? What's tough about the road life? And for videographers that are on right now, freelancers watching, who are maybe trying to find their Jimmy Allen, their Luke Combs, their Matt Stell. What are some good things, and what are some things that are tough about being on the road?
Well, first, if you're trying to find your way into the industry, I would say it's cliche, but do free work until you build your portfolio. That's exactly what I did. I mean, we did Country Fest for free. We did Rock Fest. Yep, Rock Fest for free. Our first few times, and that enabled us to then have that for the portfolio and get that experience and understand what it's like to shoot a show. I mean, you can't expect to never have shot in a live event and then go into shooting the best of the best of people, or expect to just get right into touring. So first I would say build your portfolio, get some work, and show off your work to people, and then DM Instagram message, DM on TikTok, or email every management company, every artist, every label, anyone that you can find, and email them, and just don't stop emailing them. Like, hit them up one week and be like, hey, I just shot this show. Here's this video that I did. Looking to tour with one of your artists. If you have anything available, let me know. And if they don't get back to you, that's fine. The next week, be like, hey, this weekend I shot this video for this artist, or this show venue, or this festival. What do you guys think? I'd love to tour. And just keep doing it, and update them where you're at, because as you keep sending them videos, they're going to see you progress as a video editor and photographer or videographer, or if it's, photography, send them photos. But you have to also remember is they're probably getting hundreds of emails a day, and it's easy for them to look at your stuff and be like, oh, that's great, and then completely forget about it because they got 300 artists they're managing, and they got 300 other people that they got to worry about before they can worry about you as a content creator trying to create content for them. So I would just send constant emails to people. Don't be annoying, but don't be not persistent enough. Maybe once a week or once every couple of weeks, email these people, message them. I know with Jimmy, man, I would message him all the time, and I felt like I was being annoying, but he flat out told me, he's like, no, it was good because it kept me in your mind, you in my mind. And finally, like, I got the opportunity to shoot one show for him for free. I went to Indiana. I had to drive like 8 hours to shoot a show pretty much free. They did pay me for my gas though, which was super nice, and I was grateful for that. But I was willing to shoot as many shows for free as I had to until I could be a part of the team, which turned out to be, a couple shows. And then they're like, "All right, you're our guy." So it's a matter of grinding it out. And hardest thing about it is, for me, being that I'm married, is being away from the family.
Mm-hmm.
Because as I get older, when I have kids and all of that, so that's pretty tough. Other than that, I would say just staying up on top of your content, like knowing like, okay, I got to continue to edit while I'm out on the road, because when I get home, like I might only have a couple days. In those couple days, I want to, make content for myself, or like spend time with my wife, or spend time with my kids, or do this or do that. So trying to stay up to date on your work while you're on the road, and not just like put it off and just hang out all the time, and also have your camera on you at all moments. Like, because something's going to happen eventually, and if you don't have your camera on and ready to go, you're going to be completely like kicking yourself in the butt, being like, geez, I wish I would have had that. But a few things I've learned, and that's kind of how I got into the industry.
Right. Yeah, I'm thinking back that, there's, you look back and try to connect the dots, and it was, there were a few things that were super crucial. Doing some of the free work, for example, like doing a rock fest or a country fest, doing that for free in order to show people in the music industry, how serious and how talented of, a crew that we have. And from there, that is when, we had that discussion, like, hey, let's DM every country hip hop artist or any, whatever genres we wanted to get into. We DM'd them, and Jimmy is one of them that hit back. And I remember it was the Minnesota State Fair he was coming to. I think it was August of 2018, so almost 2 years ago now. He came, and we saw him, and I remember you were out there shooting, and we put together a nice product for him, and that that really started the relationship. But sometimes it's that one opportunity that gets you the rest of the opportunities to come. And then shooting for Jimmy, it's has helped us get to several other artists. You've met several other country artists. You've shot with several other country artists. And for me, one of my favorite guys, Jonas, he's an indie rapper. I'm pretty solid, 35, 40,000 on Instagram. Like,
yeah,
he's he had some clout,
good.
Like 2010s, but he's still working. It's pretty good right there.
Yeah, I like that.
But guys like that, he was just coming down to Rochester, and all I did was hit him with a DM and said, "Hey, man, we'd love to shoot your set." And yeah, we got to hang out with Jonas and shoot his set, and got to do some more video stuff with him as well. But on that note, like I said before, I was talking about TikTok, especially in the music industry. I think it's such a key thing, and that's maybe something that Jimmy should be getting on, as well as I've been talking to Jonas about it too. But people who are in video and in music both should be destroying TikTok right now. What are your thoughts on TikTok right now? Have you been using it much?
No, I haven't really used it at all. I would like to start using it more, like to even promote like the creative videos that I make, but yeah, I haven't really been doing a whole lot on it.
Yeah.
I know that I will start doing more. But yeah, I mean, I think it's especially now, like with everything going on, like, you got moms and dads and kids and everybody using it now. It started out with, just being a bunch of kids, but now it's turned into so much more. And especially now with even Joe Exotic, if you guys haven't seen that, check it out, Tiger King. But yeah, it's just, it's been really, really cool to see it evolve. And I think that there's like a lot of, it's like the one place you can post something and not have any followers, but have reach. Millions of views, you know what I mean? If you're good enough and have good stuff. So for me, it's like, I just want to be able to bring, teach people stuff about video and photos and all that stuff. And hopefully people can find value in it.
Absolutely. I want to, and for you guys to think about, as we found out today too, how much time and dedication it really takes to build a YouTube channel and to make long form YouTube content. It's a grind. But what you can do on TikTok is make a 1-minute videos that are not as intricate, and they don't show quite as much, but you can still give people value. And your ability to go viral organically is hands over fist, way easier. So that's what I'm hoping, that you guys obviously have a YouTube channel, and you guys should be solidifying some of your content there. But to get new people over, there's no reason that you guys shouldn't be using TikTok to do that right now. Like I said, I just posted one earlier on my business on TikTok page, and I think the video has currently 13,100 views, and I posted it today organically. So I mean, the power is crazy. I mean, if you guys think about it right now, Sammy, how long did it take you to get 25,000 views on your one video?
Man, I'd say like 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months.
Somewhere around half a year. This took me. I posted this at 11 a.m. and it's 5:23. 6 hours. This thing got 13.1 views, 1K views.
That's insane.
So I mean, there's arbitrage and attention, especially on TikTok right now, as opposed to other places. But this thing is looking good so far. I love the lighting in the video. What'd you guys do
for the lighting?
Yeah,
just use Asteratubes, and then Dave had these like panel lights, or I'm not even sure what kind of lights these are, that he shined up on the band and whatnot, and then that was it. I wish I had some more front lighting for Jimmy. Just because he looks a little shadowed there, but overall it looked pretty cool though. Yeah,
the stream was awesome. I watched it from beginning to end on YouTube and on Facebook. Had him streaming both, and everything looked good. And that's, I mean, the way that we're doing that is kind of the way that we streamed this live as well. Although we don't have the high def cam, we just have the webcam on us right now. This is kind of similar to how we did it.
Yeah, super similar. I mean, it's like the audio played such a huge role, and that's like a big props to Parker, our audio guy.
Yeah, he did awesome.
And we like mixed that on the soundboard and then sent it into what I would assume would be some kind of like smaller mixer
yeah.
And then sent it into the computer, which was huge. And then he played with the latency of the sound and the video, but that played a huge role. And then having like a high resolution camera, like we were filming 4K and on the Sony a7 III at the time, and that changed a lot for us.
So what was, getting to shoot the A7 III versus the A7R III? What are some of the differences that you like? Is there any?
I think the A7 III might be a touch bit better on video in low light. I think video overall, it's like if you have a well lit scene, I think the A7 III is just as, or A7R III might be a little bit even better. But in low light, because of the high megapixel count of the A7R III, it's not as good as the A7 III. Photography wise, A7 III does not compare to the A7R III. You get so much more data with the A7R III, being that it's such a high megapixel count.
Oh.
And sometimes your photos almost come out too good, if that's even a possibility. But I would rather, for all my photos, I'll always be an A7R III. And I actually had the opportunity to use the A7R IV, which just came out this year. It has an even more megapixels. And if I could choose between all of them, I would choose that one for photography, just because like you shoot in a low light situation, it's, you have so much data to play with and so much room to play with. So
what are your expectations on the A7S III? We've been waiting for this thing forever. We've been ready to buy it forever. What are some of the expectations based on some of the things? Like I saw the 1DX Mark III come out. I've seen Fuji put something out. I've seen a lot of other brands put stuff out. What should we expect? What do you think? What are you expecting in the Sony A7S III?
Well, with the A7S III, I would expect now at least 8K footage, because
8K,
Canon's R5s claiming to have 8K full autofocus and no crop or whatever. So I'm hoping that we have 8K footage. I'd be happy with 6K as long as it was full frame. And I would like to see like 10-bit color would be nice, so you can really push that image. Because right now we're using 8-bit, and trying to push an image in S-Log 8-bit is, anyone who does a lot of color grading will know that's just not possible. So 10 to 12-bit color would be sweet. I don't know if we'll get 12-bit, but 10-bit would be awesome. And I'd like to have, obviously improved autofocus. And I don't foresee it having a ton of megapixels. So for photography, it might not be the greatest.
Like in that 12 to 16?
They just came out with a new sensor that's like 15 megapixels.
Yep.
I don't know if that's going to be the sensor they use in the A7S III. If it is, I will remain as... the A7R III will remain my photography shooting camera.
And then the S3 for video.
S3 will be just strictly video. So, I just hope that it can shoot 8K or 6K, at least 4K 60.
Yeah.
And it'd be really cool as 4K 120, but we'll see. I'm kind of losing hope that there's ever going to be an A7 III.
We've been waiting forever. Now, what is the camera that that you've had your eye on? We've talked about it. Honestly, I think since maybe late 2018, early 2019, we saw Sam Colder and those guys using the 1DX, and we really liked it. But for some reason, I don't know why, I thought Sony was the way to go, but for us, I think Sony was the way to go. And then we got to, as soon as I saw something called DaVinci Resolve and Black Magic,
Yes.
I fell in love with it, and it wasn't a popular decision at the time. It really wasn't. You and I discussed it, and everybody was doing everything in Adobe and Premiere Pro, and everybody was using 1DXs, but we were doing Sony and Black Magic and using DaVinci Resolve. And I do recall you were watching a story. Holy bucket, sorry about that, guys. We were watching a story of Sam Colder, and he was editing, and we talked about DaVinci Resolve. And everybody thinks that all these guys who are big players, this Peter McKinnons and all them of the world, strictly edit in Adobe Premiere Pro. And at the time, I knew something was fishy. I've seen it in marketing all the time. People saying one thing but using another thing to make it look impossible. Not to say that, no disrespect to them, but I almost guarantee that at the time they were using DaVinci Resolve to color because it is so much better to color with. Thoughts?
I think when it comes to coloring, DaVinci Resolve does take the cake. And I know that Sam Colder was using it for a while before it became more popular. I think other people use it. I think it's more prevalent than what they lead on. But I also know a lot of people use that Colorista that's in Premiere Pro and After Effects. But I think when it comes to video editing, it's right up there with Premiere Pro. Its effects are right up there. I think as an editor only, like just an editing software only, and not like a compositing software like After Effects is, I think DaVinci Resolve competes completely. And then the idea that you can go right into your coloring tab and its coloring abilities are so far ahead of everybody else. I feel like, and I know that it's like when it comes to coloring, it is an industry standard. So I think coloring, it's like on a whole new level. Other than that, I think compositing, it's Fusion tab, because if you look down here in the bottom of the screen, you got Fusion right here. This is your coloring. This is your audio stuff, so you can edit all your audio. This is your cut page for all your Final Cut users. You have a cut page, and this is your editing, and then this is your media in and out, your media, so you can control your media bins. I like that it's all in one software. I don't have to open up After Effects. I don't have to open up Premiere Pro. I don't have to open up Audition. However, there is things in Fusion that you cannot do, or there's things in After Effects that you can't do in Fusion yet. So I do, as you can see at the bottom of my screen, have Premiere Pro and After Effects there, yes, because there is certain things that DaVinci's behind on when it comes to compositing and using 3D cameras and all of that. There is some stuff like using Element 3D. I've been using Element 3D a little bit. You can't do that really yet with DaVinci, at least not that I know of. If there is and you know how to do it, leave me a comment. I would love to know how. But anyways, yeah, like, so I use certain things in After Effects, very little, and I'll export it and then bring it into DaVinci, just because being able to come into the color page and have each clip broken down and you can match your color grades is just super nice. Other than that, yeah, I mean, I'm just really into the whole DaVinci. I think in the next 3 to 4 years, it's going to be caught up completely to what Adobe is, and I don't think that unless Adobe makes some changes to their coloring platform and all that, they'll be able to compete.
So how much are you paying for DaVinci Resolve right now?
It's actually free.
That's a whole nother ball game there. You can buy the studio version as well. There are a few things that are nice about the studio version. One of the things I think we talked about was it doesn't have the ability to kind of cut out the grain. I can't think of the
Noise reduction.
Noise reduction. That's the word I was looking for. It does have noise reduction. You cannot get that on the free version of DaVinci. But other than that, that is an incredible editor for free.
Yeah, everything that you can do in it for free is unreal. Any of my tutorials is on the free version. I don't even have the studio version yet. I'm waiting. I'll be buying the Ursa Mini eventually, or we'll be getting it. So I'll be having the free version or the paid version through that. But yeah, I mean, the free version you can do so much in. I mean, there's obviously limitations to it. Things I wish you could do if you had the paid version, like the noise reduction. The noise reduction in this is unreal. Yeah, you can watch tutorials on it. It literally changes the game when it comes to coloring. Other than that, like, there's like certain lens flare effects that you can't use, which would be nice, and you can't use the 3D camera tracker if you don't have the paid version. That's why I use After Effects right now, because I'm not, even though it's only $300 for the paid version, I'm not going to pay for it now and then get a free version when we buy the Ursa Mini, because when you buy a Blackmagic camera, you get a paid version of DaVinci Resolve, which is super cool. So I'll just wait it out, use After Effects for when I have to, and once I get the paid version, there is a couple of things that like really unlock other abilities within DaVinci.
Right. One thing I wanted to show you guys too is I know you probably don't want to. I don't want you to share the audio of your new video, but I think people should see just a little bit of your coloring from DaVinci. If you'd be able to pull that up, your most recent video, just don't show the.
Oh yeah.
Just don't show the. When this is done, of course.
Yeah, once it's done rendering out, I'll bring it up and we can go over kind of how I colored the scene.
Unbelievable. When I saw it the first time, I thought he was shooting on a cinema camera, but it was actually a Sony, which was
Sony A7 III.
A7 III, not even the newest. And I mean, we knew this when we were trying to color in Premiere Pro. We're like, this is just a cheap version. We didn't know how they were getting such a sexy teal and orange and all of that in some of the travel videos we were watching, but we brought everything over to DaVinci and boom.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely. Just this bad boy render. How much time left on this render? Only about 15 minutes.
15 minutes? Dang. I wonder
if it would slow it down.
Kind of want to like stop the render. Oh, that's probably why. I'm going to stop it.
Let's see.
I don't want that to be 4K. We only need it to be 1080. But before we do that, we can go here.
Saved it.
Close out.
Let's show you guys this cool video. Like, I couldn't even believe. Watch how nice this looks. The skin tones, the colors, the highlights, everything just looks on point. And like I said, this isn't a $25,000 cinema camera. This is, a 1999 A7. I don't even know it's that expensive right now. A7 III. And what lens did you use by chance?
The Tamron 28-70.
Not even a G Master. You guys are going to see this and just be blown away. Here's a little sneak peek. This is something that hasn't even leaked yet.
Yeah, I think I just got it all approved today.
Yep.
So we'll show you guys. Can't play none of the audio, but we'll put just one little clip. It can still frame up pretty much.
It may or may not be going to the White House. That's pretty cool.
Yes, that is pretty dope.
So it's going to be you know, it's going to be pretty cool. It's loading, it's loading, it's loading.
We're getting there slowly but surely. For whatever reason, streaming slows me down.
Huh.
If anyone has a fix for it, let me know. We're getting there.
Now those those little machines that Black Magic has on that little picture there, those look. Is that a color wheel? Are those color wheels?
Yeah, those are coloring panels. Those are super nice.
The mini panel.
I don't know if it'd be
Would you
hard to
use
get
them?
used
Yeah.
to. I mean, I would, but it'd be kind of hard to get used to. And I feel like if you got used to it, going back the other way might be like annoying.
Yeah. So you probably spoiled with it if you buy it now.
Yeah, what the heck is going on here?
Well, while you're waiting, what is your favorite Jimmy Allen song to hear live?
To hear live?
Yeah, so you're there. You got your camera. What's your favorite one to listen to?
Probably Let the Good Times Roll. Right now, it's not been released, so. But he performs it live, so come to a show and check it out.
Ah, look at you with the marketing right there. That's solid.
Other than that, I like All Tractors Aren't Green, which is on his first album, so check that out if you haven't.
What's it called?
The first album? Mercury Lane.
There we go. I had to test him. I had to see if you remembered or.
Oh, I know.
I'm kidding.
Oh, I know.
You would. So here it is. Here's the video. Holy buckets.
A whole lot of red.
Whole lot of red. Is that bad? That's bad.
Actually, it's an excellent learning experience here. So let's go. I think it's...
This is what happens if you don't have all of your footage.
No, it is what happens when... There we go. So I cleared my cache out, so this should be okay to do. Like this. It should all come back. If not, it'll be a good thing that they approved it today.
Yeah.
So if we come down to footage... So this will happen in DaVinci Resolve once in a while. If you ever have this problem, you can highlight your footage, right-click it, and you go Relink Selected Clips. And you come down to where you keep it. If you know where you kept your footage.
Hopefully you're that organized. There's a lot of videographers that aren't.
Yeah, that's why organization is key. So I knew like all this is here. So
It was here.
there we go.
Look he found it.
18 of 18 clips not found? What is going on here?
So maybe not.
Yeah, hold on.
I am extremely happy that they that they approved that. Turns out.
Hold on 1 second. We're going to get this figured out.
This ZenBook, by the way, I'm a MacBook user strictly. This ZenBook is actually kind of cool.
Heck yeah, it is.
The new MacBooks have the little strip. They have the little touch screen strip. This thing has a touch screen on the bottom.
Heck yeah, and it's 4K screen too.
It is also 4K.
Relink selected clips. Let's try this again. So it's telling me no video.
Oh, you did, and you did do some Caleb Hutchinson, the American Idol. You shot up.
Yeah.
That was earlier this March.
Yep, earlier this March.
Nervous for you.
See that? There we go. And just like that, and if I wanted to get my drone clips in there, I could, but or my sound effects and
And
logos.
is that what you'd call a bin?
This is the bin page. So you have all your, which is really nice. You can just click on here, and that's like my SSD right there, all of that. So it's really cool. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll just go through and do all this really quick now, because I'm gonna have like OCD about it.
Good call.
So
Right click and you
Go
relink
right-
selected clip.
relink selected clips. Go to the file in which it was there. So I'm gonna just highlight that. Select folder.
Well done.
Not that bad, eh? So now you come down to sound effects. Didn't use any of those, I don't think. Image though, logo. We did use that. So we'll go right click, link. Where is it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Right there. Come over here. This is a logo. See if you come down, go to my logos.
Now, this drive doesn't appear to have nearly as much as some of the other drives I've seen that you had.
Yes.
Is this kind of your working drive? Is
Yeah,
that kind of what?
this is like my travel drive.
Got it.
So this will be like, this is a SanDisk Extreme SSD. It's like everything I travel with. And then I tend to work off of it because it's a, what's it called? USB-C. So it's very quick. All right. So let's mute that just in case.
Look at how beautiful that video is. Oh my! Can you make that bigger, full screenish?
Yeah.
Can you show these people? Oh my goodness!
So let's go with a good shot though here. A good angle.
Everything, the bokeh is great. It's a very balanced shot. The coloring's great.
Yeah, it turned out really good. So
The skin tones, wow.
Yeah, I wish I had the noise reduction because the skin tones would have been even better. I'm gonna turn that layer off, I think, or well, we'll leave it. It's fine.
All that teal and orange. The color is awesome.
Let's click this clip.
That's the original.
That's the original. So we're
Holy,
gonna
you got that out of that.
delete that.
Are you guys seeing this?
So that's the before.
Shot in what?
This is shot in
Cine.
Cine 4. Yeah, Cine 4.
But it appears to be. Why does it appear to be blown out? Why? And then how are you able to bring it back?
Well, it's shot in a pretty flat profile, so it's like desaturated, all the contrast is out, all of that, and then you just literally add that all back in. And the reason you do that is because of dynamic range. You get more detail out of your highlights, more data out of your highlights, and more data out of your shadows. So first thing I always do is I come down here to contrast and I just bump this way up. I mean, that might be even too much. I want to come over here and let's always go to show scopes. And as you can see, we are sitting pretty high, so you can take your offset. Always use your primary like exposure. This will be my exposure. Let's actually set this up first. This is your node tree, so this is will be my exposure. If you hit Alt S, that'll be my like saturation. Alt S, that'll be like my sharpening, or mid-tone detail, and that'll be like my sharpening. I would go more in depth if I had more options, but this is a pretty straightforward. So we'll click on the first node where we added our contrast. Let's reduce our offset, and you can just see if we just watch these scopes, you'll just watch how this will change. You can just see how that image drops.
Wow.
And it's creating so much within our, look at the difference already.
Oh, wow.
So now what we can do is come over here to our lift. Okay, not like that, don't do that. Bring our lift down, bring our gamma down. Okay, what is happening to this image? I'm gonna reset. Trying to think what I have for layers above this. I might have something over top to make it. Let's turn this off too. This might be messing with it. Boom. Oh, I know why. We were color grading cross dissolve. Oops. Let's go back to here we go. There we go. Now we're playing with it right. Okay.
Wow.
Now we're doing it right. Boom. And that's where we start.
Got it.
Cool. A little confusing if we show our, see how our image is a little bit better here. We can pull down. Now I'm not going to mess with the offset. Maybe just a little bit. Just pull it down just a little bit. And we'll bring our shadows down. DaVinci Resolve once in a while just jumps way ahead. Just like that. So what we'll do is just bring it down a little bit. Bring our contrast. Don't be afraid to bring it a lot. Always start with more than what you need and you can bring it back down. So we only need about right there. Bring our midtones, our gamma, bring that down a little bit.
Unreal.
Bring our shadows down.
And is this is not that easy in Adobe. I know
No,
this.
definitely
In Premiere Pro, I've tried too. Man, doesn't look this good. I'll tell you that.
So our first node here is our exposure node. So we have it properly exposed. If we look at, we zoom in on here, everything's looking good. Even our right here where it's not too dark, like right there, like on our neck, we can actually bring it down just a little bit more. Boom.
Look at the she just pops.
Popped right out.
She does.
All right, so next node is going to be our sharpening node, or not our sharpening, our saturation.
That's incredible. Like I would have called the first one good, but you guys are going to see how much better it can look even.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I would have called the first. I would have called the first one. Guys, and this is the power of DaVinci Resolve, guys. If you guys can take the time, you guys have been in Premiere Pro already, right? If you guys take the time a little, I mean, especially during this incidents, that we're going through, you have the time right now. Most people have a little bit of time. Learn DaVinci Resolve, or at least make it your coloring platform. It's a free coloring platform. Yeah. You can even take some of your footage from Premiere right in DaVinci. To get back to it, Sam.
Sorry, I had to take a quick break there. But if you read so the main thing is a lot of people don't have money for a calibrated monitor, especially if you're just starting out. So learning how to read your scopes is huge. So if we look here, we can tell that our reds right over here, like, are a little high in the shadow end, but that's okay because I'm totally okay with that. If we look down over here, this is like our skin tone line. So if your skin tones are lining this line, you're good. And as we can tell right here, all of our colors are right on that line. So we know our skin tones look like skin tones should look. So that's why learning these scopes is huge. Bring that back right there. So this is our saturation, and we can actually push this if we really wanted. We could literally push it to 100%. But that, to me, looks bad. Starting to approach like the clipping area or the no-go area.
It looks like a template, and it looks like a Premiere Pro LUT.
So, but that's our overview for saturation. And what I'm gonna do here is in this next node, I'm actually gonna scroll in. I'm gonna see how this works. I'm gonna come over here to our. I didn't actually do this on the original footage, but I'm gonna try it. Let's do hue versus saturation. Let's scroll in onto her lips, and let's just pop those up a little.
Oh wow!
And let's come over to hue versus luma.
What does that do now?
And this is gonna like control the color or how bright or dark those lips are.
Got it. So you can bring them back down a little bit
to make them a little bit deeper, as you can see, or lighter.
Oh wow! It can really deepen some. It makes it. Oh wow! That looks.
So there we go.
Jeez.
And now her lips almost pop out too much, to be honest.
Yeah, I think. But that was.
Yeah. So
I can see how.
So that could be huge if you're doing anything in like S-Log or you're doing anything in like any kind of Sony profile. Don't use your qualifiers because you can't push your image enough. Use these and select the color. If you got masks, draw your mask, but always adjust. We're not playing with Alexa minis. We're not playing with red footage. This is Sony footage. This isn't enough. Like that makes those pop out just enough.
Wow.
All right, so let's bring this back down. Our next node is going to be sharpening, sharpening. So you come over here, make sure your sharpen is on. I knew when I shot this, I went into my camera and took all the detail out, so I know it's a really soft image. So we can literally pump this down to 45. And look at I'm gonna just show you the difference.
She is so sharp.
Look at the difference.
Go back before.
Watch
right?
this. Like this. Blurry. Look at the difference there. Just unreal. But now you're like, oh no, her skin's too sharp.
Grainy,
you can see all the, any bump or any this, that, or anything. And come to our next node.
Now, quick question before you get to the next node. When you're sharpening, is that can you use that if you miss focus a little bit? Is that what you use if you were to miss focus? Is that how you bring back?
Exactly. If you look at my last tutorial, I actually missed focus a little bit, and I just over sharpened. And it can actually, now it can't fix unfocused footage, but it can help you a little bit.
It can help you hide it a little bit.
Hide it a little bit, yeah. So. DJ, what's up, my man? I hope you're still watching. I hope you're liking the stream. But back to color grading. Next tip of making your skin tones look great. Just watch I'm going to zoom in. This is unreal. So we're on our node. This is going to be I'm going to call it our mid-tone detail node. If you come down to this 2, select it, you're going to see this MD. Watch these skin tones. This is unreal. Bringing it back. So, well, that's a little too much. 33.
Wow, it did bring them back from being kind of orangey and being a little pixelated or
so
too imperfect.
I'm gonna be 45. Now I'm gonna deactivate this node by just hitting Control. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that. It almost gives it a glow.
It does, and it's almost like a touch-up filter on a Snapchat or a TikTok. It really touches her up, and you get back into normal view. She looks like her lips are popping. Her skin is starting to get. It looks normal toned.
Exactly.
She's coming right out of the image. It looks like you used a 1.8.
Yep, exactly. And now there is a couple things I want to do to this yet that I have not done. I'm gonna come back to the exposure. If we scroll in on her vest, there should be a little bit more darkness to her vest, right? And a little bit more back here. What you can do, now this is really, really cool. If you come over here to our color wheels, this is like your primaries right here. And these are going to be like your log wheels.